All right, so in this tutorial, I want to talk about passphrases. I think passphrases are an interesting way of enhancing your Bitcoin self-custody. They have interesting trade-offs, so I'd like to discuss some of those trade-offs, and then I'd like to give a quick demonstration of how to add a passphrase on top of your seed phrase, and then show you what that looks like when you import this brand new wallet that was created using your passphrase. Okay, so when you add a passphrase on top of your seed phrase, it creates a brand new Bitcoin wallet. Okay, this is something that's important to understand. This wallet will have a completely different set of addresses unrelated to the original wallet that was created from the seed phrase alone. For all of your Bitcoin wallets, you should take note of their master fingerprints, which are also called wallet identities in some of these devices. But this is especially important when using a passphrase because checking this master fingerprint will allow you to quickly identify whether you've entered in the passphrase correctly or not. So if you've got your master fingerprint associated with your wallet that has the seed phrase plus passphrase, and in the future you're re-entering in that passphrase, and then you get a different master fingerprint, you know right away that you had mistakenly entered in the passphrase, right? Maybe you switched one of the characters, you forgot a space, you forgot to capitalize something. Any small change in even just one character will create a completely different wallet, and so it will have a different master fingerprint. Okay, so that's an important thing to understand, and I'll show you a little bit about that during the actual demonstration. Um, so adding a passphrase on top of your seed phrase gives you extra protection against physical theft of your seed phrase. If a thief finds the backup of your seed phrase but doesn't know the passphrase, they won't be able to steal your Bitcoin with the seed phrase alone. But this is a double-edged sword because it also means that you will need both pieces in order to access and spend your Bitcoin. If you lose your passphrase or forget it, then your Bitcoin will likely be lost forever. Okay, so that's important to understand. Um, if you add a passphrase and you're using, a wallet that has a seed phrase plus passphrase, if you lose either parts of it, then you're going to be locked out of your wallet. You won't be able to spend from it. So you need to make sure that you have both pieces, um, you know, remembered or securely backed up so that you don't lose either piece. Okay. Some people use multiple passphrases on top of the same seed phrase to create different wallets for different purposes. For example, they might create a wallet for no KYC funds with the passphrase no KYC, or one specifically for Cash App withdrawals with the passphrase Cash App. Doing this ensures that the funds in these different wallets stay segregated, and it gives a small added protection from simple theft. So again, if a thief were to find your bare seed phrase, um, and they had no idea that you had a passphrase on top of it for these different wallets, then they likely wouldn't be able to like guess these passphrases and steal the funds, in those separate wallets. Um, However, if the thief is more sophisticated and they know that you're using these simpler passphrases, then they may try to brute force them, and it would be relatively trivial to do so, assuming they've already successfully stolen, the underlying shared seed phrase. Okay. So again, like we're kind of getting into these different circumstances where you might use passphrases, and then we're talking about the trade-offs of, using them in some ways where you're maybe just keeping separated wallets with simple passphrases, and that's kind of the way you're doing it, as opposed to using a more complicated passphrase to really secure, maybe your main stack on top of your C phrase. Okay. So when considering whether you add a passphrase on top of your seed phrase, you should understand the risks and benefits associated with doing so. If your passphrase is too simple, then it could easily be brute forced by a sophisticated thief who's already stolen your seed phrase. But if it's too complex, then you run the risk of forgetting it, assuming you're trying to memorize it. If you have a sufficiently complex passphrase that cannot be brute forced, and you plan to store that piece of information separately from your seed phrase, then you have to worry about securing two pieces of information now. And you have to understand that if either of those pieces of information are lost, then all of your Bitcoin could potentially be lost with it. Okay. So that's kind of, I'd say those are the key points of passphrases, kind of the pros and cons, and some of the ways in which you might use them. Okay. And now I just want to do a quick demonstration of how to add a passphrase on top of a seed phrase using a few different signing devices. And then I'll just show you very quickly that, just when you import the wallet that comes from the seed phrase plus passphrase, that it creates a brand new wallet that has completely separate addresses, right? And so I just want to show that so that it's super clear. Okay, so let's get into this. Right here, I have a tutorial testnet wallet. Okay, so don't get too excited. These are fake testnet Satoshis, right? It's not real value. um, but anyways, so this is a testnet tutorial wallet that I created the other day. And I sent some testnet funds to this wallet. I gave it a few labels, right? So in this example, we've got 4 transactions that were sent to this wallet, and each one kind of came from a different source. It's not really important for the purposes of this tutorial. But one thing I just want to point out real quick is in Sparrow, if you go down to settings at the bottom here, you can see that there is a master fingerprint listed right here. Okay, this is the wallet's identity. So you can check this master fingerprint typically on your signing device. So if you're using, one of these better kind of, Bitcoin focused signing devices, a lot of the times they'll allow you to see the master fingerprint. So I'll show you how to do that on a couple of these signing devices in a moment. But this is how you see it in Sparrow if you're using Sparrow Wallet. Okay, just take note of that real quick. Let's go over to our Coldcard first. Okay, so I just want to demonstrate how to first check the master fingerprint on your Coldcard, and then I want to show you how you can add a passphrase. Okay, so first things first, let's check the master fingerprint. So on the Coldcard, you're going to go down to Advanced Tools, and then from here, you're going to go down to View Identity. Okay, press check, and see, that's going to give you the master fingerprint. If you remember, just from a second ago, you can check on the Sparrow wallet interface, and it's the same master fingerprint. I also have it, written down here on this card. Okay, so obviously never show your seed phrase on camera or whatever, but this is just a demonstration seed phrase, and I'm going to sweep the funds off of this wallet at the end of it. But anyways, yeah, for demonstration purposes, I'm just showing you this, and I had written down the master fingerprint earlier on for this particular wallet, and you can see it matches. Okay, so we know that we're dealing with the exact same wallet that has already been imported into Sparrow. Okay, and now I'll go ahead and I'll X out of this all the way back to the main menu. Now I want to show you how to add a passphrase. So to add a passphrase, you just go to that second option right there. You can go down to passphrase, press check. Okay, this is going to give you some information about the passphrase. You can read through that on your own time. Here is where you can do a few things. So you can either edit the passphrase, which is where you type it in yourself. You can add a specific word from the BIP39 word list if you want to use a passphrase that uses BIP39 words. or you can, add a specific number if you just want to add numbers to your passphrase. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on Edit Passphrase, and let's just give this the passphrase. I'll give this the passphrase wicked. How about that? Um, Actually, I'll do wicked smart Bitcoin. I'll do that whole thing. So on a cold card, the way you do this is it starts off with letters, and to get to different letters, you either press the up or down arrows, right? And then once you're done with that letter, you press the next arrow, so the right arrow to go to the right one. And now it's going to automatically um, have symbols to start off with, so you can see how it's just symbols. If you want to switch it to letters, you have to press 1. So you see how there's a little legend at the bottom, 1 for letters, 2 for numbers, 3 for symbols, and then you can swap the case of the letters if you want to do lowercase with a 4. But if you want to get to letters, you press the 1, okay? And now it's going to be letters, and now we can cycle through these until we get all of the letters that we want, okay? So there's the I, and then just do this real quick. Now, one thing I'm going to do with this passphrase is I am going to make it without spaces, okay? It's important to, understand the risks of using spaces in your passphrase. One of the risks of using spaces is, when you write down your passphrase with spaces, right? So for example, if I had decided to use a space, then that would be a space. But when you're writing that down, sometimes it's hard to interpret, what is a space? Did you use one space? Did you use two spaces? Did you use any spaces at all? Spaces are kind of dangerous characters to use in a passphrase. So best practice is to not use any spaces. And if you want to go back and edit, a character that you already entered, you just press the left arrow to go back to that one. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in the rest of this passphrase. Oh, wicked. Okay, so once you have the whole passphrase written, you can see the beginning of it is at the top, okay, and then it continues on to the main kind of section there. So wicked, smart, Bitcoin, and that all looks correct to me. Okay, double check your spelling when you're entering this for the first time. You want to make sure that you have everything correctly entered. And by the way, I'll just kind of reiterate this. I already talked about it in the beginning, but if you're trying to use a passphrase that is going to, really secure your wallet better than just your seed phrase would, then you probably want to use a passphrase that will be hard to guess. So, me using this passphrase, like if it's someone who's close to me who's trying to steal my Bitcoin and, they're aware of who I am, they might guess this passphrase and they might be able to steal my Bitcoin. So this might not be a great passphrase, but I'm just using it for for demonstration purposes only. So keep that in mind. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna press check. That's gonna bring us back to this main menu. And now we can go down and press apply. Okay, so now this is the new master fingerprint of the wallet um, that was just created with the passphrase. And you'll notice, that master fingerprint is completely different than the original master fingerprint. So this is a totally brand new wallet, and it's going to have different receiving addresses than this wallet, and the private keys associated with this new wallet with the passphrase are going to be different than the private keys that were created for this original wallet that just had the seed phrase alone. So now that this cold card has the passphrase on it, I believe it will not be able to sign anything from the seed phrase alone. And then likewise, if I were to delete the passphrase off the cold card, which by the way happens every time you power it down, so just make sure that if you are using a passphrase, always put it in every time you power it up. But if I were to power this down and then return it on, it would just have the bare seed phrase alone, and so it would have this wallet ID, and it would not be able to sign any transactions with the wallet with the passphrase associated with it. So you always have to kind of have the correct passphrase entered for whichever wallet you're trying to sign from. Okay. So anyways, let me write down, let's see, do I have any space on this card? I'm going to write down this new passphrase. Let me get a marker real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and write down this new passphrase. Okay, let's double check that. I wrote it down underneath 5A5 F5 198. Okay, looks good. So now let me show you how to add a passphrase using the SeedSigner and the Foundation Passport. From here on the cold card, you can just press the check. Okay, and now this cold card has that passphrase on it, so it's ready to sign with that specific passphrase and that wallet that was created with that. Let's take a look at the Foundation Passport next. So with the Passport, usually when you power it on, it comes with this main menu here, right? If you want to check what master fingerprint you currently have loaded onto the Foundation Passport, the way to do that is you go over to the left, and then here you can press check on that first option, device. And now if you go all the way down to about, you can see the current master fingerprint, okay? And here you can check it, so it's that same first master fingerprint, meaning that this Foundation Passport has the seed phrase loaded onto it, but no passphrase, okay? It's just the bare bones seed phrase. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go back, and now I'm gonna show you how to edit the passphrase if you wanted to add a passphrase on top of your Foundation Passport seed phrase. So with the Foundation Passport, you're gonna go over all the way to the right, and then here is where you're gonna enter the passphrase, okay? So if you want to do that, you go down to enter passphrase, and now it's going to tell you, make sure that your passphrase is valid, and it's going to clear the passphrase upon shutdown. So in other words, you're going to have to re-enter the passphrase every time you power it back up, just like with the cold card, right? Usually, signing devices do not save the passphrase when you power it down, and that's an added security feature. It means that if your signing device were to ever get stolen, then at the very most, they would only ever be able to get your seed phrase off of the device, right? And that's, if they know what they're doing, but they still wouldn't be able to get the passphrase because the passphrase gets wiped when you power it down, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and press check. And now let's add the passphrase. So with the Foundation Passport, I believe the one key is how you change the different types of characters. So you can see right now it's in uppercase. If I press that, then it becomes, the different characters. If I press it again, uppercase, and then there is a button for upper and lowercase if you wanted to change between uppercase, numbers, and lowercase. So in our case, we did Wicked Smart Bitcoin with all uppercase. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so there it is, Wicked Smart Bitcoin. And now I'm gonna press OK, and we'll see if it gives us the same master fingerprint, which it does, 5A, 5F, 5198. So that means that we've added that passphrase correctly. Now, if we had, misspelled anything or done it with lowercase letters, for example, it would have given us a completely different wallet, which would have a completely different fingerprint. So again, this master fingerprint is just a really nice, easy way for you to identify whether you've entered your passphrase in correctly. And if it's ever different than what you are expecting, you can know that either you're dealing with a different seed phrase, which hopefully is unlikely, or you've just entered your passphrase incorrectly, in which case you just go back and double check what you entered, try it again, make sure you have um, capitalization turned on if you had that on initially and all that, and then you should be able to get your master fingerprint correctly. Okay, so I'll press check on that, and now we're all set with this. Okay, so that's how you do that with the Foundation Passport. Now, if I were to, try to transact with the wallet that has the passphrase on top of it, I'd be able to sign any of those transactions with this Foundation Passport. All right, last but not least, we've got the SeedSigner. So if I power this on, first things first, let's load in the seed QR so that we get the initial wallet on here. So I'm going to go ahead and press scan. Okay, and there we go. So right off the bat, it gives us that initial wallet, and you can see the master fingerprint matches. Okay, and then now we can add a passphrase. So if we do that, now we can add this passphrase. We'll go, let's see here, how do I, oh wait, no, sorry. I always kind of forget the how to navigate, but these three buttons would be if we wanted to change capitalization or go to numbers, for example. So if I click this top one, that gives us uppercase, and now I can click these individual letters to add the passphrase. Okay, so once it's all entered, now I can just press the check, the bottom button. Okay, and now it's going to tell me that the master fingerprint changes from that to that, and I can check again, and it is correct, right? So same master fingerprint, that means that we've entered the passphrase correctly. Now I'll go ahead and I'll press done. Okay, so we're all set, and then we can see that that's the master fingerprint. So this is the wallet we're dealing with now. Okay, Um, Now, what I want to do for the last part of this demonstration is I want to, uh, just drill home the idea that this wallet that was just created with the passphrase is completely different, right? Segregated from the wallet that does not have a passphrase, okay? And the same would be true for, any wallet created with any other passphrase, right? Every single different passphrase that you add on top of the seed phrase will create an entirely new wallet. And every single one of those wallets are going to have a different, totally segregated um, set of addresses, right, and histories. And so, um, yeah, so that's just important to understand when you're dealing with passphrases. So let's go ahead and um, let's import this new wallet created with this passphrase, and we can do it from the SeedSigner. So if we go back to Sparrow Wallet, and on Sparrow Wallet, if we go to File and we can click on New Wallet, here we'll give this new wallet a name. I'll call it testnet tutorial to passphrase. Okay, create this wallet. And now what I want to do is I want to have an air-gapped hardware wallet because I'm going to use the SeedSigner. And here, let's scroll down to SeedSigner. So with the SeedSigner, the way that you have to import it is by using a moving QR code, okay? So I'm going to get that set on the SeedSigner now. What you'll do on the SeedSigner is you'll go over to your seeds, okay, and it'll show you all the seeds you have in memory for the current, um, you know, uh, basically the current session that you're in. When you unplug the SeedSigner, it will erase all of these seeds, so you'll have to re-enter them. But this is the current session, right? So this is the one that we just entered with the passphrase. We can click that, and now we go down to export xpub, and we're going to do a single sig, and we're going to do native SigWit, okay? And now it's going to ask you, which software wallet you're using. We're using Sparrow, okay? And yeah, this is giving you a warning, telling you that if someone finds your xpub, then they'll be able to basically spy on all of your balances. They won't be able to steal from you, but they will be able to, watch all of your spending and history. So just make sure you don't ever leak your xpub. It's important for your privacy. So you press understand. And now it's going to tell you fingerprint, derivation path, and there's your xpub. Let's export xpub, and that's going to give you this moving QR code, which we're going to scan on the computer. Okay, so I'll go ahead and I will scan this. Okay, there you go. That's all set. Let's go back to Sparrow and let's just double check that the master fingerprint is the same, which it is. So there we go. So we've successfully imported this wallet, which now has the passphrase on top of it. We've imported it from the SeedSigner. This is the master fingerprint. And just take note, here's the derivation path. This might look a little different than what you're used to, and that's because this one indicates that we're using testnet, okay? If we were using mainnet, then this would be a 0, but because we're using testnet, this number changes to a 1. But other than that, everything looks like it's pretty good. So, well, that's also good, right? We were intending on using testnet, so that's fine. So we'll click apply. I won't give this a password. And now if we go to transactions, you'll notice there's no history, right? I haven't sent any Bitcoin to this wallet that has the passphrase. And so, we're not going to see any of the previous history that was associated with the wallet that did not have a passphrase. Okay. So there you go. This just demonstrates that they're totally, segregated wallets. You can't derive, one wallet from the other. Of course, if you have the seed phrase plus the passphrase, then you could just check the seed phrase alone to see if there's any funds, on that bare seed phrase. But the point is, they are separated. So now that I have this wallet with this passphrase loaded onto all of these devices, they won't be able to sign any transactions from the wallet with the seed phrase alone until I remove that passphrase and get back to the original wallet. And then I could start to move these, which I will before I post this video, by the way. Otherwise, someone's going to steal all my testnet sats, which would be a travesty. Okay. So anyways, that's it. I hope that that kind of, helps you understand some of the pros and cons with passphrases, some of the reasons why you might want to use them, as well as, just driving home the point that adding a passphrase on top of your seed phrase will create a entirely brand new wallet, and that wallet will be totally disconnected from your original seed phrase alone. So if you are doing this to upgrade your security and to have, maybe a more secure setup, you'll have to understand that when you do this, um, you'll have to move your funds from your original wallet, right, without the seed phrase, to your new wallet, or sorry, your original wallet without the passphrase to your new wallet with the passphrase. Okay. So it's not like they just automatically get transferred up to the new wallet with the passphrase. That's something you'll have to manually do on your own after you've created this new wallet with the passphrase. Okay, well, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out on Twitter, or comment in this video, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.